Howdy, friend. Sam Houston here, hoping you're living in high cotton. And if you're lucky enough to be in Texas, I know you're most of the way there. Now enjoy your daily dose of Texas history and Texas pride.
Howdy, friend. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast and your Texas History Roundup for July 5th. 1834, the first issue of the Brazoria Texas Republican, a weekly newspaper, was published by Franklin Gray and A.J. Harris. The publication was interrupted during Santa Anna's invasion in the spring of 1836 and then discontinued in August 1836. Since it was the only paper published in Texas during the period of 1835 to 1836, it covers a critical period in Texas history. There was speculation that Gray or his wife had tried to help Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna after San Jacinto, and such rumors destroyed the newspaper's influence. In 1848, the U.S. Congress passed an act allowing Texas to move its eastern boundary from the west bank of the Sabine River to the middle of the river. Almost a century later, in 1941, Louisiana's governor claimed the Louisiana-Texas boundary was the west bank, but after litigation, the middle of the Sabine ruling stood. At issue were about 61 square miles of river and lake, 55 square miles of land, 4 producing oil wells, and $2.6 million in oil lease revenues. In 1855, Governor Elisha M. Peace authorized James H. Callahan to organize a force to push Lipan Indians in Mexico, who were raiding into South Texas. Callahan crossed the Rio Grande near Piedras Negras in October, and after skirmishes with Mexican forces, burned several houses before retreating across the river. In 1876, the Claims Commission awarded about 150 Mexican citizens $50,000 in damages incurred by this raid. Historians later claim that the underlying goal of the expedition was to recapture escaped slaves, but there is no evidence for that assertion. In 1918, Lawrence C. Pope was born at Trinity. During his career, Pope had a printing firm, and when a bank reneged on a printing deal, he robbed several banks and photographed some of the employees in the nude. Convicted, Pope spent years in Texas prisons, where he observed the treatment of prisoners and became a legal expert. He was an important witness in the Ruiz v. Estelle class action suit of 1978, which found that conditions in Texas prisons constituted cruel and unusual punishment. He was subsequently transferred to a federal prison in Oklahoma for his protection. Pope passed away in 1989. And in 1989, football coach J. Otis Mitchell died in Denton. Mitchell coached for 42 years at several high schools and North Texas State University, now UNT. At the high schools in Slayton, Childress, Pampa, and Marshall, his record was 165 and 44 and 8 ties, and in 21 seasons at North Texas, his team won or shared 10 conference titles. In 1966, Mitchell was named Coach of the Year for District 7, which was Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and New Mexico, by the American Football Coaches Association. Mitchell was an inductee of the Texas Sports Hall of Fame. All right, well, that, my friend, was your Texas History Roundup for July 5th. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow on the next one. You take care.
Well, there you have it. If you like our podcast, check us out at feedbandit.com. There you'll find awesome Texas First outdoors gear and apparel. Your purchase helps support the Bandits and keeps this podcast on the air, fighting for you and for Texas. Remember, preserve the tradition, protect the legacy. Until next time.